What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. I hope each and every one of you all are enjoying your beautiful day that has been given. Every day is beautiful. Though that life situations may cloud it and we may step in a time of mourning from loss, we may fall into a place where things haven't gone our way and we you know, will fall into these anxious moments and depressions and stuff like that. But we should never forget, family, that life continues. It's he who is prepared for the day is the one who's never caught sleeping. That's real talk right there. And that's simply said is that, hey, when it comes, brothers and sisters, to really encountering those things that we had no clue would hit us, we were prepared in the spirit of things to deal with those things that come at us. Don't think life is not going to throw you a curve because life does. Why? Because life is continual. It never ends. And within life is life situations that we know sicknesses and diseases and all of these other accidents and all these things can happen and can come upon us by those people who we buy or of those people we know. But we can prepare ourselves even to ward those things off when it comes to using something that has been given us by the Most High, which is the tongue. Let me give a shout out to everybody who's coming in before I get into this, because I believe that what I am sharing today is going to help each and every one of you all, because I like to say, if it's worked for me, it definitely could work for you. I was sharing with some brothers and sisters today that I would like to share with you all, as well as a situation that happened with that old naked, old fat European woman on the wall in my bathroom, of what I did. And just to show you, when you stand in what is right, the earth will tremble. I'm telling you that. Peace and blessing to you, Beverly. How you doing? Good day to you. Aubrey, hey, what's happening? How are you doing, sister? Revolutionary, peace and blessings to you and the family as well. Pride of Africa. Hello from Tanzania. What's happening? Or should I say Karibu? Asante Sana. Leticia. Israel. Shalom, everyone. Royal family. Liberia is in the house. Irf, how are you, my brother? Peace and blessings. Quentin, was that Quintus? Quintus, peace to you too, brother. Appreciate you as well. Brew Queen Israel, blessings, family. Shalom. Secrets, see, was that Secrets? My screen just flipped on me. Secrets Johnson, Mumbo Poa. Sherry, proud African. Greetings to you, my sister. Revolutionary, back up to you. Thumbs up. Crucial conscious. Tuko Pomoja. Till we, well, I'm, if I remember correctly, is until we meet again, or together we are, or something. Traveling these countries, trying to remember these languages sometimes, boy, it can be hard. Mo Africa. Uh, good day to you too as well. Janessa, greetings to you. The Virgin Islands, okay, all right. Yes. Greetings, Mr. Go Black. That was, I think, what I just read. Am I learning Swahili? I'm trying to learn. Every time I leave out, I put my books down and I forget majority of the things. Yeah. Unc Uja Seneb. Deborah, how are you doing? Shalom to you too, poor righteous preacher. Don P. Ben Yahuda, what's happening, brother? Peace and blessings and shalom to you too. Shalom, peace. Crucial consciousness, back at you again. We are together, okay. Tuka Pomoja, okay. Izindine Abdi, Go Black, okay. Yes, Mr. Go Brown. What's happening, Jess? Yes. All right. Good to see you too, Genus J. Or is that Genius J? Chuchi, hello, my African-centric family. Yes. Third World Wonders. Tukapamoja is we are together. All righty. And salute. Family, I'm glad you all came in right here. I want to just share it because I like to share my stories because I believe they're motivating and encouraging for those people who have an ear to hear, eyes to see, that would like to utilize even off of my experience because I learn off of other people's experience too as well. Sad to say though that there are seems like it's getting harder to find positive words from people. And it's today we're living in a world that now people are misconstruing what positive with negative and negative is positive. It blows my mind how we are in this world today and things right become wrong and wrong has become right. The picture that y'all saw right there on my thumbnail there of the European woman, I don't want to say fat because some people are gonna get offended. Fat is offensive. No, she's fat, or pleasantly plump for some of y'all like to use that, or some of y'all. I said my wife being in the medical field says obese, you know, or I also like to say one biscuit from obese. Um, Come into this hotel and it is African artwork throughout the hotel. I come into my room, and me and my wife came into the room, and of course, we see this picture on the wall right here, which I ain't got no problem with that picture right there. It's a white guy that's being a thief to come and try to steal your valuables out of your safe here. Yeah, they got a safe up in this camp. But on the wall, for those who didn't see the thumbnail, whatever, on the wall in the bathroom, it was distasteful and it was out of place, in my opinion, that they would have this above the tub and you walk through this whole hotel. It's all African art, all Black African art. So I called downstairs and I said, what's up with the European painting in the room when everything is African paintings until you get into the room? And then if this is in the bathroom above the tub of this woman who is like, I mean, isn't that offensive to you? Even got your wife with you that they got some half naked woman in the bathroom? Isn't that like disrespectful? So the young lady, she kind of chuckled over the phone and she said, I asked, I said, so is there any other artwork they can put in here, whatever? And she says, well, all the rooms have that same type of art. And I said, okay, well, you know what? This is just something that's just not even acceptable. Well, anyway, me and my wife had went downstairs, we wanted to leave and go out for dinner. And the woman called me over and said that she had talked to the manager about it. And the manager, who was a young European man who was probably in his mid 20s, um, had told me he was going to go ahead and take it down and replace it with something else. Well, you know, I said, wow, okay, all right. He says, I want to make sure that you're happy and, everything like that. And so let me show you what they did. So what they did was that he honored what he said he was going to do. And they took the bathtub here. They took it down. They took it down. Now let me talk about that, family. Let me talk about that. Because, you know, there's a lot of ignorance in this world. And sometimes people don't even get it. Sometimes people do things without even thinking. And then we who claim to be such of a people, a person, or we stand for something, will zip our lip and say nothing. And we allow the world to be able to press upon us in where we stand without us having a voice of where we stand. And Third World said, who in the world did the interior design? I'm gonna tell you this right here, Third World. Who did interior design besides that picture? Laid it down. I'm talking about they laid this hotel down. And it's called African Pride Hotel, for those who want to know. Um, I won't be here tomorrow, so I'll let y'all know now. My wife set it all up and all right there. She said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be in something special, whatever. Plus, my birthday is Friday. So, but my beautiful wife just left me. I just dropped her off at the airport. So I'm just like, oh, my lovely, lovely wife is headed back over to damn America. That's right. But in saying that, the interior decorator, I would say, man, shoot, they laid this joker down. But there again, see, sometimes I don't know who the person was. Could have been African. I don't know. But sometimes we have brain farts and we just forget it. How would you put statues and pictures throughout the whole entire hotel, and then you get into the room and you feel like you in Africa? It's called African Pride Hotel, and then all of a sudden it's like, where does these European pictures come from? You was doing great until I get into my room and you got this half-naked woman disrespecting, for another man's wife to see to be by a tub with a half-naked woman. And what is that? This hotel was built by Marriott. So the Marriott is actually the so-called ones who has this hotel, who owns this hotel, but it's called African Pride. And very nice. They laid it out here, I'm telling you. But what I'm wanting to say, family, is that we need to get to a place to understand we got power. We got power. Now, last night I had shared a little bit of this last night, and the young man said, who called in when we were talking about a subject matter, said, power, money is power, and money is king. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I'm not going to even give the money the reason why they did that. I'm going to give the honor to what I believe is my power, which is the Almighty. And it seems that we have forgotten this thing here, and a lot of people have come through and misrepresented the Almighty. A lot of people have ran away from it, and now we hear people say that white man has created God and all of these crazy things, and we run away, and then we wonder why then that we still, as a people who behave on the other side of life, suffer, use and abuse, taken advantage of. And and I'm like, we got to get back to the Almighty, which is my other channel that I'm about to start here. I've already got changed the name to Go Back to God, instead of Go Black to Africa. Oh, must be the name. I'm like, what is all that noise? Okay. But it's, we got to get back to the root of things. We got to understand that the ancient writings, the scrolls, the scriptures, has its basis, and it really has a tremendous effect on each individual's life if they understand the words that have been left for us and the power that has been given us for us to effectively be able to navigate through this crazy thing that we call life, or this world we live in. And I'm going to sit here and say this right here. I'm speaking to you, not we. We do, because don't we get caught into we? What about you or me? I'm telling y'all, I'm tired of the we now. I'm tired of the we. I'm only talking to the individual, because people are in their own place and space, and people doing whatever they want to do. But let me say this right here is that when we effectively utilize the Most High and what the Most High have given us, I'm telling y'all, things begin to shake, rock and roll. Things begin to move. Things begin to manifest. Things begin to present itself to you in those areas where you want to be on high. You want to ascend to the next dimension of faith. You want to ascend in the next place of belief, if you will, or knowing, I like to say. You want to gain more of a spiritual knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And yet we profess to be such of a people or a person, and yet are defeated. I was talking to this young lady today. Me and my wife had our dinner tonight, and she said, she was sharing about, all that I hear when I talk and interview people, about the woo-hoos and the corrupt governments and how bad things are and all that right there. I recorded her, I recorded her and everything. And, you know, her name is Faith. And I find here in South Africa, a lot of South Africans have these biblical names in these praise or faith or um, it's all these different names that are positive, powerful names. And yet I'm like, why aren't you walking in that? Why aren't you walking in the very name that was given you say, by your mama, your daddy, or whomever? Why are we walking in this powerless state of mind, this poverty state of mind? So I'm sitting there talking to her. So she was like, saying that she wanted to be a nurse or a doctor. And yet, she had went to school for HR and there's just no jobs. She said, people my age, she's 25, we're all sitting at home doing nothing because there's hardly no jobs. And so she got this job being being a server at a restaurant. So I'm hearing her talking everything. And she's just going on about why, she wants to be rich. She wants to have that beautiful, expensive car. And I hit her with this and I'm like, why do you want to be rich? I don't know. Why do you want that expensive, beautiful car? Well, because let me just share something with you all. Because she's like, I've asked and I've prayed for different things, and God is just seemed like, God is just not hearing my prayers and all that right there. And I said, you know why? Because you're asking for things that God just will not supply you. See, y'all know scriptures, ask and it shall be given. Y'all know that scripture, right? Seek, you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open. I mean, we say those things and don't even understand what they mean. We don't understand what they mean. I'm up here looking in here. Liesi, you said this right here, because I'm going to go on to what this is right here when I'm talking about the young lady. Go Black. Once you approach people by the content of the character and not the color of their skin, you will discover your spirit will become lighter. God bless you and your family. Well, I appreciate that information. I don't approach anybody because of the color of their skin. And the content of their character sound like a Martin Luther King quote to me. But my thing is that, no, I approach people where they are. I approach people where they are. And this young lady is up here and feeling kind of bad because Black ain't got nothing to do with it. You ain't been watching my videos. I tell you, look, this black, white don't have nothing to do with the spirit. Pan-Africanism, Black Power, Black Panther, all that has nothing to do with God. And when I say nothing to do with God, what I mean is that it doesn't help you or benefit you one way or another, because of the heart or your spirit is what's going to be judged. But the young lady is inquiring about her unanswered prayers. And I'm like, sister, let me go ahead and help you do something right here. All right. The reason why is that, you say that God is not hearing you, or the things are not, God's not answering your prayers and all, it's because you're asking for the wrong things. She said, what do you mean? I said, because God do not bless you with stuff. You think all this tangible things around here, God bless you. Don't let the people fool you who talking about God is good and God is great. Bless me for my house and my car and all this stuff right here, this and that. Look, these people here are lost. What you need to ask for is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That is what gets you where you need to be if it's done in the right spirit. This is why we fail as a people. Isn't it said, come on, y'all scholars out there who knows the scriptures, the ancient writings, or the scrolls, doesn't it say that you have not because you ask in a miss? Come on, y'all. You ask in a miss. See, if you're not checking the very thing of what you're asking, you got to check yourself and say, am I asking in greediness, self-centeredness, ego, vanity? Why am I asking for this thing? Why am I not asking for a better spirit of knowing, a knowledge of spiritual discernment of evil? Why can I ask to be open my ears so I can discern those evil words? Why can I ask for my five senses to be in a spiritual place in order to recognize those things that try to befall me, try to get me, try to take me out? But we want to sit back and ask for stuff. You're going to keep praying all your life. You're going to be keep praying all your life if you up here got to ask God for something that the work has already been finished for you to go ahead and walk into the power of God, and you asking for stuff. See, I had to wake up to that one day, asking for stuff, because the Spirit has showed me that you keep on asking for stuff. This stuff don't mean nothing. Read the scrolls. It talk about all the stuff will be going to waste. It will either be burnt up, people come steal it, the moths will come eat it up, the rust will come destroy it, and it means nothing. And the day you die, you can't take it with you. Why would you ask for stuff? You see, the most precious thing is having that knowledge and that wisdom and getting an understanding, because that then opens the doors for, because of your faith, that all things will be given unto you if you are standing in that place of righteousness. Isn't that true, family? Come on, somebody roll and walk with me with that. Because, I mean, we have to get out of this old stinking thinking, this church believing that, hallelujah, hallelujah, pay my money, go to church. And all the while, your spirit is being discerned. And then we sit here and wonder why we can't even lay our hands on our children when they're sick. We can't step in with the Spirit of the Most High to step in to sit there and lay hands on our own sick kids. We'll call somebody else and say, pray for me and my baby. Pray for me and my loved one. Though it may say pray for one another, but for what? What we praying for? I thought we were given the power to step within, to go ahead to be the image and in the likeness of the Most High, so that then now everything you see that sits on top of ground, that doesn't wiggle, that walks, creeps, flies, swims, or is growing out of the dirt, we, man, are the ones who manifest that thing here on earth, all by speaking. Everything. And if many of y'all would really even look at the ancient writings and scrolls, the scriptures, and the ancient writings, if we would really even look at it, that the Spirit of the Most High, in order for those things to be manifest, the Most High needs to use us here on earth. He needed Noah to build the ark. He needed he needed Moses to take the staff and put it in the water to separate the sea, or Aaron to hold up the staff to keep the children of the Israelites to win the battle, or it was always this using of a man in order to have those things to manifest that we have here on earth. Now, I'm not saying that those things like the wind and those things that are beyond our so-called control. No, the Most High is all control of that. What I'm saying, though, is that to get things moving in the direction that we claim that we have this belief. I've watched more people who are falling by the wayside, who's losing their families, who are sitting around in depressions and full of anxieties, all of these things, and claiming the Most High. Isn't that true? Because it seems like it's mighty interesting that when I'm walking around and I'm speaking into to situations or things begin to change. You see, it's interesting. There are people who, you know, think that judging one people by the color of their skin, which I'm gonna let you have your free talk. By the color of your skin, you've never heard me say I'm judge everybody by the color of their skin. I know this. There are all man has sinned and falling short, and all man has come to a place of doing ill will, wicked things on earth. Most definitely, yo. But you just the new one coming around there, Lisi or whatever your name is, Lisi or whatever, you know. But you don't know, you haven't seen my work that God's been doing. It's that people get offended when I bring out their father's sins. Ooh, let's see what that says. Let's see what that says about those who will reap from their father's sins as the fathers bring on the curse of their children. I mean, people want to act like they're going to walk scot-free from the things that their ancestors have done. And you think that I'm talking about black and white, but I'm talking about the fact that I am in Africa, in a hotel with the name African Pride. I don't expect to see, and I don't want to see a half-naked white woman sitting on my wall that I'm paying for, and they removed it. I didn't complain about this guy right here. I complained about the total disrespect of some European half-naked white woman in my bathroom. You better believe I always bring up race. Y'all the one who started the black and white. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the one who started the black and white. And then when you're called out on it, you don't like it. Look at the applications for the jobs. Matter of fact, let's. I want you to call in. You're gonna be the first woman of a Caucasian to come in. Let's have this conversation. Come on, let's have this conversation. I'm gonna put the link in right now. I want Lisi or whatever. The link is in. Call in. Call in. I want you to call in. Let's have a man to woman conversation. I'm not going to disrespect you as long as you don't disrespect me. But let's talk about so you can get to know who Go Black is. I'm going to go ahead and allow you to, because you know why? You don't even understand who you are. Oh, well, you see, you don't want to call in. See what I'm saying, family? This is the problem. They don't want to have the conversation because of the guilt of their fathers. Because of the guilt of their fathers. They can't, and they don't want to hear nobody else. This ain't about black or white. I'm talking about that god doggone European woman, if you don't like white, European woman, half naked in my bathroom on the wall. That's disrespectful to me and my wife. Now you tell me, and all the other artwork in this whole entire hotel, me and my wife walked down 4 flights of stairs and up 4 flights of stairs. And this is in every bedroom that I'm told. This is in every bedroom. Now you explain to me, should I not say something? Because you tell me I always look for race. But anyway, family, check this out. You see, we have to be able to use the power that God gave us in order to change things in this world by those Europeans who went around colonizing and controlling the world. You see, what they did was started up the cathedrals and this lie about the Bible, switched the story, switched the names, and we follow such things. These are the lies. And when you call them out on it, then you have people like this lady here who wants to argue that I'm speaking about color when I was sharing about the goodness of the power of what God has given us. Because like that young lady that I was talking to today, I think you see Belle. I know. But I was going to give her just her 5 minutes of glory and all that right there. You're right. You're absolutely right. Let me put her in timeout for a second here, and then if she continues, I'll block her. But the power that is given us is way beyond than those who think they have the power. The system. The system, it was created to keep us down. The system was created to keep us in servitude. The system was created to keep the richer richer and the poor poor. The system was created to divide and conquer. The system was created for us to be powerless. How can we allow for those to come in to a continent, Africa, as though they're going to teach us about the Almighty when we already see, I've spoken to a lot of the tribes and stuff. They said we already knew about God before the Europeans. My ancestors passed that down for years, that we didn't even call it, Jesus, which the letter J came in the 1500s, which then tells you that if the name ain't right, and they changed the name because of King James, who put out the first edition of the Bible, taking it out from the Ethiopians' Bible, and they changed the name Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We know that as English names, and so then they flipped the scripts, they changed the names, and they act as though that they the one who want to take the credit. Then you got the side of ignorance that we fall into, that I see here in the airport here, coming from the European mindset, that this right here was the creation of life. Saying we came from a monkey. And we run around believing all this stuff, and what we've done was set aside the Almighty and put our power aside and gave it up to those right there who wants to have control over you. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, orange, green, whatever. A lot of people are going to try to have the power over you. And we have taken over that, and we have relinquished the power. We don't even know how to speak life. Yeah, that was Darwin who came up with that theory. And it was taught in schools. And we chewed on it, and we swallowed it, and we digested it. And then for those who believe in Christianity, follow that lie and then turn around and wonder why we are lost people. Because unlike Leslie, the European woman who wants to say, I always look at things in color and I'm always judging people and all right there, It's mighty interesting when we look at the two sides of life, evil and good. Who started the gay agenda? We know gay's been around for long, but I'm talking about the agenda of pushing and promoting and all that right there. Pornography, Playboy, Hustler, them sex toys. This is not in the minds of Africans. Now it is, because the fact that we follow those who we think are the right way, and yet we do what majority of those do, and we find ourselves even 10 times worse off than even they are. Shouldn't that tell you something? If we were created to be the example of the world, yet we follow those who actually came out of, even though I still say we are all different people. Scripturally, it's written, and people don't talk about it. This is facts. And then we wonder why we suffer. So I'm telling the young lady, you're asking for the wrong thing. You're asking for things. You see this Western civilization that they've created. I know you see these things in front of you. You're watching these skyscrapers and buildings go up, and these houses and these cars and the clothing stores and everything. And it seems like everybody's getting, and it looks like all those who got the money's coming in and they're buying up the stuff. And you looking at your people and you like, Dad, we ain't got nothing. Yeah. Because those things aren't important to the Most High. See, while those who rape, rob, and pillage will turn around and go ahead and have you thinking that stuff is the most important thing beyond all, you're going to fall into the same traps that a lot of them have fallen into. They ain't getting in no heaven. They're going straight to hell. Even black folks fall down the same wickedness and all right there. And the yellow man and the green man and the orange man, all going to be going to the same place full of wickedness, because they following those who went around the globe telling the lies. You know, they did say that Satan is the father of lies. You do know that, right? You see, one of the mistakes that the Europeans did when they went around putting up cathedrals and went to do mission trips for the missionary trips for the military, or for their country, to be the spies, the eyes, the ears on the ground, you see, is that they never thought we would be able to read and comprehend. You know, see, cutting up Africa can keep you from moving and navigating to places that have answers. You know, it's not by chance, coincidence, or accident that Egypt is the oldest book on earth without being manipulated. Why? I know some. I got some smart people out here. Why is Egypt the only book that has not been manipulated, changed, corrected, whatever? I'm waiting for my smart people to answer that. Who's going to answer that? Because what we think, and I hear it all the time here in Africa. Thank you, Gauguin. It was written in stone, about that thick into stone. You just can't scratch that out and go ahead and over the ancient paintings that tells the story and those who knows the story. You see, when they flipped the script and said Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, they really took it from Asar, Aset, and Heru. And if you don't know the story, you would think the Europeans were the ones who created such a thing. And it's so far from the truth. They took our story, flipped the script, changed it, and then turned around and sold it to the world like as though it's their God and said, we came from Ham. Isn't this true? But we got to be able to mature into the things of the Most High for us to come back and be effective with power. This ain't about black, white, or whatever. Because I ain't just picking on white people. There are black people out here that I pick on. If you're evil and wicked, you're evil and you're wicked. I'm going to call it like it is. Because this is the senseless stuff that the world does and pushovers they don't want nobody to say nothing. But when you call it out, then it's all of a sudden now you're prejudiced because you call out because this is in my bedroom, in my bathroom. Like that's supposed to be okay. Like I'm supposed to zip my lip because what? You got your agendas that you run around with the LGBT and you got all this other pervertedness and things that go around and nobody says anything. You push that mess right there on on the commercials and on TVs and the music videos and all that stuff there. I'm talking about the evil of man. And we're supposed to sit back and say nothing. I'm sorry. I'm like this right here. I ain't afraid. I got the power of God with me. But let's let it be known. Facts that whether people want to get mad or not, they don't want to. They see most Europeans will get upset because they just want to let it die. That's why in America they want this. The what's that? The critical thinking. What is it? What is it called? They want to let that die. Let go of slavery. Then our children tired of hearing about that. Let's focus on some other history and let the slavery go. See, guilt want them to change history. Guilt, CRT, critical race thinking or what is it? Critical race theory. They want to do away with it. We don't need that in our books no more. We don't want that no more. See, that's the whole thing is smothering up history and then changing it and rewriting it into the way that those who wants to be in power want it to be. This is why we got over 300-400 different editions of the Bible, of the scriptures. Because there are those who don't like certain words, certain phrases that they want to change it into their own and created their own off of their own names. Who's a Baptist, who's a Protestant, who's a, Jehovah Witness, these things that were created by man, denominations and religions. And we let this steal the power that was given us as a people to be in the likeness and in the image of the Most High. It's so funny that yes, yeah, y'all been living in Africa for hundreds of years. Africans has been in Africa for tens of thousands of years. And this is the funny thing, family. See, the funny thing is this right here, that while y'all sit back and watch this whole thing unfold, see, those who are here in South Africa call themselves Africans. No, I'm sorry, you're a European. You're not an African. I was born here and I was raised here. I'm an African. Really? Really, really. What I'm saying to you, young lady, is the fact that just because you go around the world dominating it and taking control of lands and creating societies and civilizations and having those people that's around to be servants and slaves does not make you part of the family. You see, you can't bring people into slaveries and then all of a sudden, because you brought them over into countries or you came into their countries and you can stamp citizenships on their back. See, that right there is the ignorance of what this world has done. Your family. Those are facts. Those are facts. You the one who brought this white black relationship thing in. I'm talking about my experience of motivating, encouraging a young lady into getting back her power, knowing how to pray, what to pray for. Because see, we can easily pray away the evil white people. I said evil white people. We can pray away the evil black people. And what I mean by pray away, out of my space, of my person. What do I mean by that? It's mighty funny that even in the scriptures, that when the people prayed that they were being overtasked in Egypt, that they wanted to be set free. The Most High heard, uprooted, and said, I have a land of milk and honey for you, for I shall go ahead and send you to a land of milk and honey around from your enemies. And you're going to have to even go through some of these lands who are your enemy. And they're going, and while you go through these lands and you're sitting still right there, do not let your sons marry their daughters or your daughters marry their sons, for they do not believe in me, who is the true God. They will have your sons and your daughters worshiping their God. This is written. I'm not saying anything except for what is said in the scriptures, the scrolls, the ancient writings. This is what I'm saying, what it says. Just because somebody tell you saying God, that's why I don't like to use the word God. I have my own personal experience with the Most High, who is in my life. And when I sat and walked away from Christianity, and I walked away from that white master who put it into my ancestors' minds of becoming preachers and bishops, and they regurgitating that same old preaching and that same idiotic thinking, that I had to walk away from and really find for myself the Most High. And what the Most High really is when the day I got set free. Because you let anybody else tell you, you're going to be following something and wonder why your life is non-effective, and you saying that you are faithful to God. People, we got to wake up from the dream. We've been put to sleep. That's black, white, yellow, green. I don't care. Like I said, to me, it's about your spirit. But when it comes to the system of things, that typically you're going to find, if you're in this world, the Europeans are in control of it. At least he's not calling in. She's not woman enough to call in, to stand her ground. I ain't gonna beat her up. Let's have the conversation, since you think my conversations is all about race. Y'all came up with that word, black, white, yellow, green. Y'all the ones that came up with that. They say that all these people claiming that they Christians and stuff like that, they say the most segregated day in the most segregated day out of the week is on Sunday. White folk going to their church, black folk go to their church, China man and everybody else go to their church, but claiming that, oh, color has nothing to do with anything. Really? Really? You mean to tell me I walk through this hotel and every picture, every statue is of a black African? I see how they say black African because see, there are some white people down here in South Africa call themselves Africans or Afrikaans, as they say, whatever. But how is it? Every photo picture we've seen, I ain't been to every nook and cranny of this hotel, but I'm saying was of Africans. And when you come into the bedroom, you see, there is a thing called a spiritual discernment that this right here is evil. That is against the Almighty. To put a half naked woman in a bathroom, that's evil. Evil, evil. So I shouldn't speak out against that. You better believe I'll speak out against that. No different. She said color don't mean nothing, but the Europeans are the one who started the color. And everywhere you turn around, white Jesus or white people's names or pictures up on walls over here in Africa, this and that. Y'all the one who do that. It's amazing that even in Africa, that y'all don't even have the respect at these schools that y'all build and all that right there. And y'all have all the white kids on the, I'm gonna show the pictures. Have a white kids on the wall with not even an African on there, and you're sitting in Africa. Total disrespect. It's not me who does talked about the color. Y'all about the color. You see, let me show you. Let me show you. I don't talk about the color. Y'all talk about the color. I just finished the conversation. Lisi, come on. I'm gonna put it in again, see if you're woman enough to come here and have the conversation so I can educate you. See, that's the problem. See, nobody wants to listen when we speaking and trying to share with you the facts of how things are and how we see the thing. Y'all don't want to have the conversation. You want to ignore your ear and you want to scream names out like you're judging and you're prejudiced and you're this and that, but you don't want to have the conversation. Because anybody knows my channel, I do listen. I don't just butt over and over talk you. I let you say your piece. So if you're woman enough to hide behind, if you are really a woman, it could be somebody black with a white photo, whatever. But I want to see who you are. But even if it isn't you and I who really you are, it's going to be talking to somebody else who's Caucasian, because Caucasian people, white folk, Europeans, whatever name you want to say, really needs to listen to everyone else instead of themselves and consider the case, the matter at hand, the truth. Let me show you this right here. Because see, some of y'all ain't been in my channel. And let me show y'all this right here. So that Lisi, she needs to understand what her family does. She needs to understand what her family does. I ain't the one who created about race and white and black. That right there was created in 1772. Hold 1 second. Let me see here. Let me show you. This ain't hating on white people. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. How is it? You see those kids? How does a picture like this end up on a wall at a black African orphanage in Tanzania? And then when I asked the question to the director, I'm like, how does this happen? See, this is what happens. Sometimes people want to push their agenda or they have motives. And then they will send money and say, we'll help your orphanage and all that right there. And we're going to have somebody come in and paint a beautiful picture on the wall. Paint a beautiful picture on the wall, and we're going to donate money. And we're too ignorant enough, and we sit around and say, okay. But what did I do? For those who watched the video, I hired an African painter and had them. I told the brother, I said, my brother, how is it that we have our beautiful children here who has to look up at this picture? You see, there is a spiritual component, families, when it comes to things, pictures, music, TV, books, all of these things will go inside and can set seed. Do you know what that happens to young Black African children? Then they look up on the wall and they see this that don't look like them, and they are reading books. This is why I understood when I interviewed the little boys that were there on the beach in Tanzania, and I asked them who was smarter, white people or Black people. They said white people. And then you go ahead and have these churches and cathedrals all around the world with a white Jesus. We didn't do that. Not at all. No, we didn't do that. Y'all the one started the color thing and went around stamping every church and every cathedral with these statues, which is totally against God anyway, because it's nothing but a graven image of the things in the heavens, the things in the earth, and the things beneath the sea. That is totally off cuff. But see, you're the ones who started that. We didn't go around the world colonizing countries and putting a stamp and switching a story of a truth of who the Almighty is. And yet you're going to sit and say that No, Europeans started that whole thing of color. Not me. I caused it out. And so I hired an artist to come in, and I asked the director, you are destroying our children, their esteem, their confidence. He says, you're true. You're right. I wasn't thinking. I got an interview with the dude. Look at the video. And we painted the children's faces on that wall so they can see themselves reading a book. And we went further to write on there and say, I am the future. This is why I do what I do, because of the fact that we have given and surrendered our power to others, that we worshiping not the Most High, but worshiping people. We worshiping other people, idolizing people who you think is supreme being. Thank you, Nancy. You saw that video? It was a very powerful video and it moved me. It moved me when the children were going up there and they were amazed and they were standing there like this and looking at what was unfolding. Do you know the next time I came back, they all ran up to me. I was gone for, 9 months, came back and they all came up to me, the little ones. The ones that you see in my trailer when I start my videos and all, and I'm like this, that was at the orphanage with them beautiful little children. That the world, the system has brought on an image for us to believe that there are only white is right and it's supreme. They've put the image of Jesus being white and Mary and everything else white. The spirit Jesus, like I said before, we can sit here and argue what the color of the skin or whatever this and that, this and that. We already know the region. The region was Africa. But the spirit, Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah was God, the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made flesh, and the flesh was man. I mean, people keep thinking Jesus is this image. They put that in your head. The point was never supposed to be the individual. The individual, the spirit walked to be sacrificed for all of us to wake up and be set free. But we argue about whether or not Jesus was black, white. You're like, I don't care about that. Now we got people up here talking about in Revelation, some woman sent Revelations 1 says, Jesus was black. If people only had knowledge that a dream that was given for a vision that David was brought to see, that the scriptures plainly say that when he saw this image or this persona, this, let's go to it. Let's go to Revelations. I think it's 1:14. Let's go do it. Y'all scholars out there. Because this is misquoted by even some of the they call themselves out there in America, the Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. But I know there's other sects of Hebrew Israelites, which I don't even want to put in the same breath. But these guys go around and they try to convince people that God is black. For y'all who wants to hear the truth from Go Black to Africa's channel, I'm sorry to tell you, God is not black. You can't find nowhere. But they want to use this scripture, Revelations 1:14. And this is what it reads. This is what they stand on. This is what it reads. Let me go up a little further here. This is John right here talking. He says, and I turned to see the voice that spoke with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to his feet, girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Here we go. His head and his hairs, let me say it again, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. And it speaks on, it goes further on into what was in his right hand and his mouth and all these things right here. You see, if you don't know what color is represented or words that are being used, how could you even say? Because they skipped that over. So his head was white and his hair is white like snow, wool. Well, hold up, his head. So that means then he was white? Because let's listen. We got to go to what the representation of white means. His eyes were red. What does red mean? His feet were of bronze. What does the bronze represent? But this is the lie that we were told. And many of us right here to this day still put up daggone images of this Jesus and during Christmases and celebrate these holidays and all that has nothing to do with anything. And it was mentioned in the scrolls, ancient writings, y'all call it the Bible, but it was already mentioned to stay away from such things. But because those who are of evil, who went around the world to go ahead and pull the wolves over your eyes for you to submit under their authority, then they took everything from you. Now we believe the fact that this God that they say is, I'm saying is not facts. God is a black man. God is a white man. Bull crap. God is a spirit, y'all. God is a spirit. But this is the lies that are told. And this is why we subconsciously, unconsciously will always bow down to a European in fear because we have that indoctrination reigning in our mindset. It's just facts. So, I'm saying we as a people have to even step away and realize we are a spiritual being in the image of the Most High. Been saying this for the longest. This is a signpost. This right here is a signpost. Like Lisi, she wants to say, that color doesn't matter, color doesn't matter, color doesn't matter. We're all the same people, this and that, this and that. No, we're not. We're all different people. And if anybody knows scrolls, scriptures, ancient writings, y'all call it the Bible, you will see that even God separated his people from others. Yeah. And warned them to stay away from those who do not worship the Most High. But when you have those who claim we're all the same people, for real? Really? Why is it then that this skin right here can sit in the sun and not be affected, but a European must put on sunscreen lotion in order for that skin to absorb and not repel those sun rays? But we're the same. Now, see, for those who don't know, my wife is a medical doctor, and she will tell you the difference between people of color and people that are of other different race of people, that there are some differences biologically in the anatomy. We're not all the same. Sorry. I don't get sunburned. We're sun people. You in Africa, you better see you're some parts of Africa. This is why you find a lot of Europeans in South Africa, because the climate is conducive to how it is there in Europe. They love the climate. And you find very to little people, Europeans, that are in the central of Africa, where all the heat and the beautiful sun is, closer to that equator. They can't handle the sun, let alone the heat. This is why the fear that has been raised up by them of global warming. This is just facts. Spiritually, we're not all the same. You're either on the right side or you're on the bad side. It's just one of the two. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, green, orange, yellow, whatever you want to call it. Look, there are evil black people. There are evil white people. There are evil Chinamans and Indians and all other race of folks. There are good ones too as well. That spirit to me is the most important. Interesting enough is that the mass majority of people will follow the lie and remain in ignorance, in a lie, in wickedness. They will try to fight on a scale of what position they are to feel better than somebody else of a different skin color or of a different race. They fallen for the lie. Only those who submit to the Spirit of the Most High is the chosen people. There's many who've fallen off of that. But how do we get back in that power? Family, I'm telling you this right here. The way we get back is we have to unravel all of this garbage. We don't realize how powerful of a people that we are, that we can use what was given us. So I was telling this young lady, as I told her, because of her prayers, that she was asking for the wrong things. Let me read this right here. And I broke this down to her, that, you got to know what you're praying for, asking for. What are you asking for? Because if you're asking for the wrong thing, you won't know why you're not getting it. Okay, where did it go? Hold on a second. Proverbs 3:13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that's getting understanding, who gets understanding. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all your getting, get an understanding. Proverbs 16:16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver? You see, in my prayer, I'm always asking for, give me the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding. That is what opens up the things that you may have the desires to do. Because once you get that, now you can be able to utilize the power that is given you. But when you are set in a society that has told you the lies and told you that this is the God, this is Jesus, when that wasn't even a name, you going down the wrong road. I want y'all to stay tuned, because what I'm gonna do here is I'm unable to get over to Ethiopia, but what I'm gonna do is do videos like this. I got my young brother that is there, and I'm having him sit down with a biblical scholar who they're gonna have. The Bible that they have there is been around for so long, but he's gonna be able to read out, and I'm going to be pointing out things in today's Bible that's today in the scriptures, and to compare it to what is actually said back then. And I think he said they got a Bible that's like the there in Lalibela from the 1100s. Let's break it open. Let's see what the names are. Let's see the real name of Yeshua, or y'all say Jesus. What about God? We're gonna see even if it was called God, if he was called God. You see, when you read in people's books and stories and stuff, they can do whatever they want with it. And have you walk along calling the names and all these other things, and yet you be in ignorance. Sure, you can give me scripture suggestions. Look, this is a family affair. Look, if you want to, if it's on subject matter what I'm sharing, and you got some say, oh, this one right here says this and that, of course. Don't send me off on a rabbit chase, okay? A rabbit hole going down other subject matters. Because we're talking about this prayer life of speaking and not just asking. I had to tell the young lady, I said, look, ask and it shall be given is what it said. Ask what? Death and life is in the power of the tongue. They that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. Speak those things as though they were. That are not. So, there's so many motivating writings in the scripture that you can stand on. But what we're told is, go to your political party and ask them. Go vote for your president and ask them. Ask your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. Ask them. Ask your therapist. Ask your doctor. Ask all, but yet it's mighty funny we don't go asking who is the one that created all things. Ask what? Ask for knowledge, ask for wisdom, ask for understanding. Because then that gives you the clarity of being able to access the very thing or the desires, as long as in line with the Most High, of what it is that you desire. Of the desire says that I shall grant you the desires of your heart. And then what God said, as long as your faith is in the Most High. I see you over there. Ask your first sergeant. And many people asked me when I was a first sergeant, and guess what I told them? I started to tell my troops, you need to be able to go to the Most High, and the Most High will guide you along. Will I see the church in the Gnostic church in Egypt? I was already there in Egypt. I was in Lalibela. Lalibela. Check out my videos when I was there in Ethiopia. Oh, you said church in Egypt. I'm sorry. Or excuse me. I correct people when they say I'm sorry. And I catch on to that habit. I'm sorry. I apologize. Or excuse me. Go Black. White South Africans call themselves Africans, so in the future they can write themselves into our history to make Adam and Eve appear to be true in appearance by being white. Well, I'll say this right here. It's amazing when you really look at the things where those can come in and take a step in front of you to take the position of and then write a history, we would believe that it was so. It's happened so many times. I mean, when we believe the lie that Christopher Columbus discovered Americas when there were natives already there. Many people believe that Europeans have always been there. Why? Because their history books show that when they came, yes, they saw that there was some natives that were there. But what they don't tell is that they took everything and made it theirs. Killed millions. Yeah. For real, for real. Let's see here. So you got any other questions? Any questions? Any comments? Let's see. What do I think about Rastafarians? I don't have no thought about the Rastafarians. I see them around and it's like, peace, my brother. Peace be unto you. That is it as far as the Rastafarians. I don't get into where they stand in their belief systems and all. I find so many people who call themselves different names and they have different backgrounds and beliefs and all that right there. Was Christopher Columbus a Moor? I don't know what Christopher Columbus was. I'm gonna tell you all this right here. You know, books, writings are very dangerous, especially when man's hand is on it. Even the Bible, because man has touched it, manipulated, and twisted it around. So one has to have a spiritual discernment to see those things that are and that are of fruitful, that are fruitful, and those things that are not. Because people who writes the books, Christopher Columbus and all these other history books and all these other things out here, man write what he want to and how he want to when he want to. You sense fear. Look, I fear no one but the Most High. Would you what? Sense fear? Fear of what? What am I fearing? Fearing what? What am I afraid of? What do I fear? Fear what? Fear who? This is your man, not your boy. I'm a man of God. There's only one that judged me. That's it. That's it. Let's see here. Okay. Somali's 11 million there in Ethiopia. Okay. Let's see here. Somebody says right here, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is great in the kingdom of the of Yahuwah. Yeah. Yep. Seem like we got some names there. Let's see here. I remember about the let's see what we got. I remember the video about the Ethiopian church, how they was placing a white Jesus in their church because of the Ethiopians. Yeah, I showed that video. I show that video because this is the there should be no image at all in that church. But the interesting thing why I showed that to depict how the picture was before the Europeans went around colonizing and how it was after the depiction of Christ as an afro and brown skin and his disciples were. But then when about the 1500s, then the Europe's created their Jesus. Did you see what it said? So it wasn't Yeshua. Then it was changed into a white long hair. Even long hair is mentioned in the Bible of being a shame on a man. And they got Yeshua or Jesus as long hair. He's white. He's an image, which is in the second commandment says, "Thou shalt not make any graven image of things in the heavens." And went around the world and threw that in churches and on people's minds and stuff like that. Can I break down this quote? Whosoever sowed to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the spirit, from the spirit will reap eternal life. You want me to break that down? Okay. Well, we do know that sowing is putting into, or you sow, like you sow a seed, you plant it. Whoever sows to please their flesh, and in your flesh is those things that your flesh screams out that it wants. What are those things? Okay, what are the things that the flesh scream out to? Come on, we all know that. We know that anything that is of addictions, anything that is of pleasure, anything that brings on ego and pride and all deals with the flesh. Am I right? So you sow all that's into it. You like sex a lot, drugs a lot, drink a lot, lie a lot, steal a lot, murder a lot. These are things that are in the flesh that you just had this desire to go and do. You shall reap destruction. What's that reap destruction? You're going to reap your judgment is going to be destruction. You done. But whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. So now you're talking about doing the things of the Spirit. Well, what are the things of the Spirit? We know the fruits of the Spirit, right? Love, joy, meekness, faith, goodness, um, um, love, joy, goodness, meekness, faith. Boy, it's been a long time since somebody help me. I'm missing two more. Peace and I'm missing one. Those are the fruits of the Spirit. That means those things that you will bear those fruits. And if you go ahead and sow into the things of the Spirit, your love, if you put into love and you put into being goodness and gentleness, there we go, gentleness. It just came to me. I saw right boom, when it just popped up at the same time. Goodness and gentleness. When you pour and feed into that, sow into that, you will reap eternal life. Now, see, the problem of it is like when this Lisi, whatever, was saying that I always speak about race and I'm racist and all that right there, is far from the truth. Why, if in the scrolls, scriptures, and the ancient writings, when Jesus was ripping people apart about their bad doings and that how their fathers and were who sinned basically left curse upon their own children. He called people hypocrites, vipers. He turned over tables in the church and said that you make my father's house a den of thieves. He picked up a whip and was whipping them. His disciples asked him, "Is it time now for us to carry our sword?" He said, "Yes." You see, people want to have this loving, beautiful Jesus. This God that's, without judgment. It's going to be fair and right with everyone. We can live our life and be whatever we want. That's a lie. That's a lie. Don't follow these fools. Paul said, "Let God curse fall on anyone, including us or even an angel from heaven, who preaches a different kind of good news than the one we preach to you." Okay? Yeah. Love, joy, peace, long suffering, patience, gentleness, goodness, faith. Yeah. Love you too. Success forever. Most definitely. Okay, another question. Go back. What is the real issue with us, Black people? I ask because I think we need practical solutions to help us because it's a war out there. To put it bluntly, economic war. I just share what the problem of us are. That's any man. We ain't following the true Yeshua. We're not following the true Yahweh. We're not following the true God. We're not following that which is. That's our problem. We keep following those who are in control of this wicked world, and we are wanting to be like them. This is our problem. And the world follows it. Me and my wife was out to dinner the other night, and because my wife, being a doctor, she's she hates to see people destroying their bodies. And we was in a place, and the people were in there smoking hookah. And when we left and everything, she said, "Man, those young ladies were so beautiful and putting that smoke in their bodies." I said, "Yeah, babe. It's what happens when you follow other people. We follow everybody else except for following the Most High. This is our problem. We don't need to follow economics, and we don't even need to follow, the Pan-Africanism that ain't talking about the Most High. We ain't need to follow, this world about, self-help and get your psychiatrist and go talk to your doctors and we need to start following the Most High. This is why we are lost as a people. Yeah. Yep. But the fruit of the spirit is love. Okay, that's right. I already saw that one right there. Yeah. There you go, right here. Thank you very much, Cheruta. Second commandment is thou shalt not make make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or those in the earth or beneath it, that is in the water underneath the earth. But what do we see? What do we see? We worshiping other people's gods and not the Most High. There is a difference. We are worshiping a Jesus and not Yeshua's. There is a difference in how they've presented that whole story. There is a difference. You can't even call the Bible because Bible's not even found in the scriptures. It says scriptures though. It says books, but it don't say Bible. These are the lies that we keep following and is destroying us, family. All right, I'm about to come to a close here. If anybody got any other questions, by all means, ask the question. I don't claim to know all the answers, have all the answers, but we'll go ahead and see. Jesus said, I came not to bring peace, but division. What did he mean? What he meant by that? He says, I did not come to bring peace on earth, but I came to bring division. Father against son, mother against daughter. What does that mean? I came to bring righteousness back on earth. And guess what? There will be people in your household who will not stand for righteousness, which then they rather stand on unrighteousness, which causes a division in your household. How many times that those who were coming up in a house that was followers of the Most High, that your children will rebel and wanted to go up against go up against righteousness, and it was a division. Your child's mad because you're standing on what the word of the Most High says, and they want to do contrary, causes a division. This is why people think that the Jesus came to bring peace upon earth. Well, Jesus was God. The word was in the beginning. The word was God. The word was made flesh, or the word was in the flesh. Let's see here. That's what that means there. Hope to see you. Would you interpret that John is stating the Most High, John interpreting the Most High is black from Revelations 4:3, being that a jasper of sardine stone is brown and dark brown? No. If that's the case, if that is the case, when Daniel was seeing a vision, hold on a second here. Interpreting a vision, and he made reference of the king's dream. And in that dream, there was this huge uh, image that each had bronze or gold and all these things here. And what was it sharing? It was talking about kingdoms. And he had to he interpreted for the king, and so that the king will understand why is this dream what it is. But he broke this whole thing down. Even when you hear about what white is or what white represents, it refers to Jesus being the Lamb of God. Why is he being represented as a lamb? How is that? We got all these allegories or these illustrations of these things that a lot of people are trying to take literal and squeeze in their own imagination into things. And I'm saying, no, not when you start reading and seeing that God is a spirit, God is not a man. So in that, where's the color? Where's the color? Because same Revelations 1 and 14, talks about his head was white, his hair was white, his feet were bronze as though it were burnt brass. I mean, so what? God head is white, his hair is white, and his feet are bronze. His eyes were red. The Hebrew Israelites there in America, they say that his eyes are red because he drank wine. Let's see here. Any other questions here? If my people who are called by my name, yeah, Willa. And what saved? See, most people think saved from hell. You could be saved from this world, saved from your own self. Because in order to get a people to be repositioned back under the hand of God, you have to be saved from this evil world that is spoken of, that we should not be transformed like. It should be our enemy because it hate you because it hated me first. That this wicked world you have to be saved from, because this world teaches all wickedness, and majority of the people, like it says very few will find the narrow path. Many will find that broad path, but very few will find the narrow path, because they follow the masses, do whatever the world says, want to talk like, dress like. That used to be me too. That used to be me. So I ain't up here trying to judge anybody like I'm perfect. No, that used to be me, you know. And I'm trying to wake up a world of evil for people to come out of this system, this world system. And sometimes you got to leave where you are to get out of a wickedness, because I told a young man this today, because he was, he was looking for some answers. I said, brother, look, man, you say, man, you believe in the Most High, man. Sometimes, man, the Most High will uproot you out of a place of evilness. That's why I don't like America, because America, which I call damn Erica, put the D in front of America, capitalize the E, damn Erica, it is the mother of whores. It is the evil one that the rest of the world is following and trying to be like. It promotes everything wicked. It goes around the world trying to push the gay agenda, trying to push the evilness of sex trafficking and wars and divisions and causing sanctions and causing economies to cripple. It goes around doing all of these things. Yeah, yeah. I mean, It says his eyes are darker than wine. I mean, but it doesn't say it's wine and it's from wine. It's just darker than wine. I mean, what does that mean? It is evil and try to condemn those that don't follow. It is evil and try to condemn those that don't. Yeah, no, nobody trying to condemn anybody. As it said right here, if people don't want to hear, they can click off. I can't convince anybody on my channel or try to condemn anybody. I'm telling people, get out from the world, y'all. But many people don't want to. And you know why? In the majority of the world, because of this caste system, they don't want to let it go. They can't see themselves breaking bread with other people of races. They rather stay to their own or those who they think that are the ones they worship. That's why you find family members will support the wickedness that their own children will do because they call it love. Do you really believe Bible is God's inspired word? It's not God's only inspired word? No. Let's think about it like this. Before the Bible, how did God communicate with people? Because we know that the writings in the New Testament, even the scrolls in the Old Testament, were found separately and gathered up at many of different times throughout the ages. It was not then until man decided that they wanted to put together some of those scrolls that they said that was inspired by God to put together. Now, the interesting thing is that, you know, where you find the Ethiopian Bible has 81 books. See, King James Version started off in 1610 with 81 books, and they removed Apocrypha in the 1700s. Now, I thought that the Bible and the Revelation says do not add to or remove from this. Now, was it talking about the book of Revelation? Was it talking about the Bible in its entirety? And inspired word means no more than I'm being inspired right now to share the word of the Most High. Why am I saying the word of the Most High? Because in me, only thing good is that which has created me. And there's only one that is good. That's the Creator. Wasn't that said to Yeshua? Good master. He said, "Why do hold up? Why do you call me good? There is only one good, and that is the Father." Now, he was speaking to the Son of Man in that flesh, but he wanted to correct him and let him know there is only one that is good. See, that's what you call now positioning a person to be in its rightful place, because that which is in me is the Father. I only do as my Father tells me to do, and I only say what my Father tells me to say. But people are getting hung up on that. This Jesus is this body image, the flesh that was. The word that reigned in the flesh is what that was the Spirit of God, which was in that flesh, as it says, that even I wish that they would take the word Jesus and Emmanuel and really separate it. Because when they went and did that, it really kind of screws up the people's mind. Because who are they talking about? It's the Son of Man and the Son of God. Those are two different things, you know. But it says that even in the beginning of Matthew's or even in Luke, that you shall call him Emmanuel, and they shall call him Jesus. So anytime you're referencing Emmanuel, should be, are we talking about Emmanuel or are we talking about Jesus? But it's not even Jesus, like I said, but this is just so that y'all understand what I'm saying, because it's really Yeshua. But these are things that where confuses people. But the inspired word, how was it before this so-called Bible was put together? Because Yeshua told his disciples that there will be sent the Spirit of truth and the Comforter. There's nothing said that there will be a Bible coming that will be sent. It said the Spirit of truth and the Comforter will be sent. And those who believe in Yeshua, being baptized, believing in their spirit, their heart, that that which is Yeshua is the Lord, the Most High, shall be saved. What does that mean? Because then we say, but what about all those people who never heard or believed or just didn't never got the word? Ain't you fortunate you ain't the judge? I am too. But I know that, look, that in saying that the Almighty has already even said, even in the scripture, that there are those who are without excuse, and that there are those who are without excuse, that they know there is an existence of the Most High. It don't have to be the name that many want you to believe, because in the name, if you want to say Yeshua, you believe in your heart, you got to confess with your mouth, believe in your heart that Jesus Christ was Lord, died and rose, and they keep on. You got to be baptized under submersion, and you got to have this right here with water, and then you got to, and that list keeps going on. And you're like, man, what is where did all this come from, man? It came from man. But the Most High knows every man's heart. Thank goodness I ain't the one that had to do the judging. Other questions here. Let us make man in our image. Ooh, very, very interesting. Yeah. Some want to say Trinity. We can't find Trinity in the Bible. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Are they one? Yeshua said they were one. But with the Most High, who has the Word, can sit on the right hand on the throne. The Word. The Word. Now we can get into, let's talk about let us in our image. Because even then, Yeshua said that even you will do greater things than me, the Son of Man said. When you have the Spirit of God in you, and that if you are in me and I am in the Father, that means then we all are one. That makes it us. Let's see here. Let's see here. Coming down to the end here. His eyes shall be red with wine. His eyes should be red with wine. Please let me know what you mean by that. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're saying that right there correlates with Revelations 1 and 14? I've lost who said that right there. I lost my screen scrolled. Let's go on to the next one. I know you hit me back. Do you think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophet? I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Does this include slavery sacrifice? I don't understand when you say slavery sacrifice. Does this include slavery? I don't understand that. If that's what you take it as, us is God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God is all things. I mean, if God is able to send the Spirit of truth, be able to send the Comforter, they talked about the angels that were all inclusive, all a part in the in all in the body of God, if you will. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, family. I think that is it. Okay, here's one. In what way you think? The truth? I think this information will free all people in the world, especially Black folks. Well, I mean, there's not nothing I'm doing. I mean, I believe God's word will free a lot of people, and people get to the understanding that they need to go back to the Most High and stop putting trust in the system. We need to remove ourselves from that because during this whole last 2 years, when this whole epidemic hit, do you know how many people lost their minds when when the system was telling them you go get, you gotta have, and people were like, should I, shouldn't I? And most of these people were claiming that they are part or affiliated with the Most High, or or different sects, or of whether you are Muslim or Christian, and running around losing their minds. Did you go to the Most High first? Did you ask? Because this world system, that was just a test, y'all. I don't know if y'all even know about the 7 vials that's going to be open, but it's mighty funny. It's mighty funny. The first vial will be sores, and we're dealing with monkeypox right now. The 4th vial was talking about the heat of the sun, and we have already seen that the heat is like tremendous in America. I don't know about the other countries and all that right there, but it's interesting when you start reading these things. You're like, I just wonder if this is just the door opening, that judgment is falling on earth right now, in a sense. I don't know. I don't know. But it does say, by these signs that you shall know that the truth, that the end is near. When you see, false prophets, and you see, the what we see today is like fathers killing sons and mothers killing daughters, and man changing the ways of what they were really, their nature of being with another man, and a woman being with another woman, changing their natures, and all of these different things, wars and rumors of wars, and all of these things that be signs of the end to come. Now, I know they've been talking about the end for thousands and thousands of years, but I say this right here. The end in one man's mindset is a world, and worlds do come to an end. The Spirit of God ascends, descends every moment of the blink of the eye. Yeah. So, family, that is it for your man, not your boy. I thank each and every one of y'all for coming. I hope that y'all learned a little something today, because I learned a lot from you all as well. My thing is that it's all about us going back to the Most High. That's what it's all about. Not going back to Africa. I think everybody should come visit the motherland. This is where man originated. It says it in the ancient writings of Genesis. But when we don't read and we don't believe, then, we continue on and believe what they tell us. We'll go in libraries and read their books and study their books, go to their colleges, and they tell us all this stuff, and we aimlessly walk ignorant and do foolish things. All right, family. Thank you very much for each and every one of you all came in, for your kind words, for your blessings. Those who gave monetarily, I thank you as well. I also will I thank even those who even disagree with me. Seek ye the kingdom of the Most High and find your truth. I'm out.